Stop that. Yeah, I hear him chat to the noise. Then stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Man's keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. Let them tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Act like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch me, please use caution.
So this video is the tutorial for Pixl FX. So when you get your download, so to install the preset, you'll need to copy it from your downloads. So I've got square brackets footage around the name here, just to remind you that it needs to be applied onto footage, but you can rename this to be anything you want. So you need to copy that. And you need to paste it in your After Effects presets folder. So that is in After Effects, support files. Then we need to find presets. I've got a motion boost folder here, so you can make a new folder if you don't have one already. And then paste it in here. And then you'll need to close and reopen After Effects for it to appear. So then once we've done that, I'm just going to go through each of the controls within Pixl FX. So I've got this car clip here, and to add the effect, I'm going to go to Effects and Presets, and then I'm going to search for Pixl FX, and there it is. So I can just drag this onto the car, and you'll see we'll have all of this stuff down here in the effects control, so it's easier just to close everything. And then we'll open the controls. So just before I start this, there is a set layer here option. So it should automatically select the layer that you've put it on. But sometimes if you're in a composition with lots of layers, it gets a bit confused and ends up selecting the wrong displacement map layer. So you can just double check that by making sure that this displacement map layer is the same layer as the layer with the effect on it. Again, it should do it by default, but sometimes it messes up. So now, once that's set and just checked to make sure that it's the right layer, we can hide all of those and just focus on the controls. So the first control we have is pixel size, and that changes the size of the pixels. So a smaller number means large pixels. So as you can see, it makes the pixels larger and smaller. It's best to view this on full, because if you drop it down to quarter, the actual output changes quite a lot and it looks quite a bit different to how it will finally render. So it's best to look at it on full, although it's quite a heavy effect, so I tend to use it on one frame to find the look and then drop it to quarter to actually preview. So the pixel size, as I said, change that. So I'm going to go for something about there. It's quite nice. And then the next one on the list is distortion. So you can crank that right up to get a really distorted image. I prefer just a little bit on this one, maybe like 1, just to shift it a little bit. And then displacement is kind of a left and right, and this one's animated, so as it plays, you get this kind of horizontal wiggle across the pixels. So that's looking quite cool. Might drop that down a bit to about 20. Then the next one is highlight color and shadow color. So if we change the highlight color, you'll see all the white is changing towards that kind of red. So we can pick kind of any color we want on here. And then the shadow color is exactly the same, but with the shadows. So if you wanted just like a subtle red in the shadows, or you can kind of use it to create like a sepia tone kind of look. So then under that, we've got original colors. So this tries to use the original colors of the footage through. So now the car's back to being green, and this is like that blue turquoise. So that's quite a cool effect as well. So that's if you want to try and preserve the original colors of the footage. And then we've got Chromatic Aberration, which just adds some of the chromatic aberration to each of the pixels. So that's easier to see when it's black and white. So if I put this back to black and white, you can see all the RGB splits on all the pixels. And if I turn that off, it all goes back to black and white. So that's kind of all of the controls. It's super flexible. You can animate all of these, so you can crank up the distortion in an animation to make it kind of fade away. Same with displacement, and obviously colors can all be animated, and the pixel size as well. This also can be used on compositions as well as footage. So if you have some shapes moving around or whatever, you can pre-comp them and then apply this over the top, and it will pixelate that for you as well. You can also do text. So the possibilities are kind of endless with this. So yeah, I hope you enjoy and get creative.